What's up, guys? This is Big Worm 380, and we are back in Ark Survival Evolved in the Total Beginner's Tip series. If you're looking behind me, you can see I've got a lot of new equipment. Now, up till this forge and the electricity stuff and all that, I've actually grinded out everything. But I gotta be honest, with next Wednesday looming and trying to get more of these videos out, and I have to go back to work tomorrow, I did spawn in a few of these things to help speed me along. We've got the chemistry bench over here. I made that generator and the fridge. I did spawn in the chemistry bench, though. I did spawn in the grinder and the cooking pot. I mean, it was just a matter of grinding it out. It's not that big a deal. But, like I said before, with these flyers, as slow as they are, getting around the map to some of the things that I would have needed for, to actually make these, it's just a time saver. So, because I don't want you guys thinking, Jesus Christ, he took so long to build the forge and now he's got all this stuff. Alright, well, let's go see. First thing we got the industrial grill. I'm not going to go into super big detail on all this stuff, but this is just the big grill. It cooks meat a lot faster than campfires, makes it nice. And let's see. Let's grab a couple of things so we can throw in the grinder. Where did that Ascendant Dunk saddle? Oh yeah, check this out, guys. I got a Mastercraft long neck rifle blueprint. I found that in the lava cave while I was messing around. All right, well we'll just do these two just so I can show you how this works. Now, being that these are journeyman and Ascendant especially, I'm gonna get a lot of material off these. You know, if you take if you take something that's primitive and grind it up, you're not gonna get as much materials. Just it works the same in reverse of like making something. You know, the higher the quality, the more it costs. So the higher the quality, the more you get out of it. So all you do is turn it on and grind it. See, and you get all these resources. So that's not bad. I mean, that's 100 paste out of 2 different things. So, and that's pretty much what this thing does. And I got to be honest though, I normally don't make one of these, or not usually. I mean, I do on my PC server because we've got the modded grinders and you can do more with them. But I mean, to be perfectly honest, these things they're good, but to me they're not worth the cost of, you know, doing it. Now, you see I got some wood out of this. It does come with 2 blueprints. You can make thatch with wood. So the wood I just got off the saddles, I can now craft thatch. So that's pretty damn cool. And then if you had stone, you could do the same with this blueprint for flint. So it's got its uses, but I mean, to be honest, as late in the game as you can get the Ingram for this thing, and as much as it costs, I don't think it's worth it myself. But I mean, I don't know, because by this point, to get thatch and flint out of stone and wood, I mean, you'd already have dinos to do that, you know, to get that in large quantities quickly. So I mean, and thing is, if you're out getting wood to bring back here to grind up, why wouldn't you just get thatch while you're out, you know? I don't know. Alright, so here's the chemistry bench. This is what takes the place of the mortar and pestles. And it makes stuff pretty damn quick. I'm gonna go grab some flint and charcoal and stuff and stone, and we're gonna make some gunpowder real quick so you can see how fast it works. Alright guys, we've got our chemistry bench loaded up now, and if you notice, I had to put some gasoline in because I wasn't even thinking. This is the only thing that I know of that takes electricity and gasoline, and I don't mean there's an option to use one or the other. You have to use both. So you disconnect it from the power and it's got gasoline, it won't run, and vice versa. You gotta have both. But, you know, it's you just make sure you turn it off and turn your generator off. See, I got a separate generator out here just for all this stuff, so I can turn this off if I'm not using it or whatever. But I got plenty of gasoline in that generator, so basically, this is just, you know, you can turn this off by itself. Okay, so this is how fast. Let's make some spark powder. And I'd have to check the numbers on it, but I'm pretty sure the chemistry bench makes more of each thing with the same amount of material. I don't know the exact amounts, but I mean, like, it's making quite a bit of spark powder right now. That's more than you could make in a mortar and pestle. with the same amount. Now, we had more than what a mortar and pestle could hold, but okay. So now we got our spark powder, and now we have our charcoal in here to go with it to make gunpowder. And it just makes it super fast too. Makes more of it and super fast. So I mean, you can imagine how fast. Once you get this chemistry bench, and you couple that with the industrial forge here, you get some metal and some stacks of wood in there burning, making charcoal and ingots. Then you get your chemistry bench, and you got your gunpowder working. You can make tons of ammo really quick. So that makes it real nice. All right, well, I'm gonna let that go. Actually, I'm gonna turn that off. I've got a fridge out here because what we're gonna do, I figured in this episode we'd go over some few different recipes. I'm gonna show a deal on the screen, and we'll talk about all the recipes. But I'm only gonna make I'm gonna make some sweet veggie cakes and some a couple mind wipe tonics, because I'm gonna show you the mind wipe tonic, how to make it and what it does, and plus I need to respec my character anyway. All right, well, give me 1 second. I need to go get the jerky meat for the recipes out of the fridge. All right, guys, I put the meat in the fridge as much as I could put in there. The fridge is already full. If you notice, I got some stimulants and narcotics on me too. We're gonna be using that. So what the deal is, we're going to go over these recipes real quick. Now, these ones, I'm going to show them up on the screen here. At the top, you got Enduro Stew. All these recipes are the ones you find out in the world, like you might kill an animal and get a Rockwell recipe. That's what those recipes are. And you don't have to, it used to be, when this game first came out, you had to find the recipes and put them in the pot to cook them. But you don't have to do that anymore. You can, day one, if you can get a hold of the stuff to make it, you can make a cooking pot and make whatever one of these, as long as you have all the ingredients. So there's Enduro Stew, which 35% melee damage, and you get plus 1.2% health per second. That'd be good for PvP, or if you're going in to fight bosses, or even just caving, that would be pretty good. Because there's a lot of bad shit in caves. Vocal Chili, 25% movement speed, and then 100% crafting skill bonus. I don't know if that crafting skill applies anymore, or if it goes on top of what your crafting skill does as far as when you're making like stuff off of blueprints. Because right now, whatever your crafting skill is, that's what gives you your boost on stuff like that. Lazarus Chowder. Lazarus Chowder is good if you're earlier in the game and you don't have scuba gear unlocked yet, but you need to go underwater for a little while and do some stuff. It lasts 10 minutes, and it's 85% oxygen consumption, 85% less. So almost double the time you would have on your oxygen, and that lasts for 10 minutes. And then it's also plus 1.2 stamina per second. Callian Soup is hyperthermic, plus 50 insulation on hypothermic, and 25% less water consumption. That's good if you're going into like a lava cave or somewhere hot, that'll help you keep from losing so much water so fast and then taking damage once you get into the big flame areas. Bria Curry, that's another one I've used before. It's the exact opposite of the hyperthermic, the Callian Soup. It's for cold stuff. You go into ice caves or in the snow biome, you get plus 50 hyperthermic insulation, and you lose 25% less food. Because see, when you're hot in a hot area, you lose water faster, obviously. Well, when you're cold, you lose food faster. So it can get you both ways. Then you got your medical brews, your medical brew and your energy brew. Those are plus 40 health and plus 40 stamina. Sweet vegetable cakes. That's one of the things we're going to be making today because I want to get some acatinas for some cementing paste, and that's what they tame on. Shadow steak saute, battle tartare. Those are like, to me, those are more, I don't know, maybe PvP or specific caving situation stuff. And then the Mind Wipe Tonic, we're going to do that in a little bit. The Broth of Enlightenment, I've never done that one. It's a 50% experience gain. I mean, the thing is, if you're to the point where you can even make this, because if you notice, you have to have one black pearl for each one of them. And rhino horns. If you're high enough level to be in, getting those types of things, I don't know why you would really need a 50% experience gain. I don't know though. I mean, maybe it's worth it at the end there when you're trying to get them last few levels to unlock the last few things, but I don't know. I've personally never used it. And then they have the recipe on here for cooked meat jerky and prime meat jerky. Now, all those are you just take preserving bins and you put the spark powder like you would normally to preserve the meat, but you also put oil in there. And then over time, it'll not only preserve your meat, but it'll turn it into jerky. Jerky lasts longer than regular meat, and so it makes it nice to make jerky. But me personally, I primarily just use the jerkies for kibble. That's what I've always used them for, because all your kibble recipes call for either one cooked meat jerky or one prime meat jerky. So, all right, let's get the stuff, and I'm gonna show you guys the industrial cooker. So yeah, the actual recipe for Mind Wipe is 200 medjos, 20 rare flowers, 20 rare mushrooms, 72 narcotic, 72 stimulant, and 24 prime, cooked prime. Alright, there we go. It's the purple stuff. Okay, so Mind Wipe tonics, I've got... I'll tell you what, I'm on the official wiki, which is what we were looking at earlier on the screen. Mind Wipe tonics at default spoil levels 5 hours. Okay, so I've got mine turned up so it lasts 15 hours, and I'm gonna put this stuff back in the fridge because it will spoil. All right, I'm not worried about the rest of that. Okay. So we got our Mind Wipe, and this is what Mind Wipes do. I am level 96, and I have my stats made the way I've done them so far. Now I screwed up right off the bat, and I did oxygen because I was thinking of back a while back. It used to be that if you put a lot of oxygen in your character, it would swim faster, and I guess that's changed because my guy at 380% does not swim fast at all. Seems like he's swimming regular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more in my speed, and then I'm going to put more in weight, and probably just a little bit more in health. So I'm going to take all them points that I put in oxygen and kind of spread them out. I'm going to go ahead and make scuba gear, so I'll have that to breathe with. I just need to be able to get around faster. So, I'll just have a mount or whatever. And my crafting skill, but first what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this Mind Wipe, and I'm going to boost my crafting skill all the way. Alright. So I'm going all the way with this. All 90, what was it, 96 levels? Or 97? Okay. Over 1,000 in crafting. Okay, and Jesus Christ. I'm overloaded. Let me put this stuff in here, because I'm going to have to make another Mind Wipe anyway. Okay. So, you might be wondering what in the hell I did that for. Alright, well, I'll show you why. Alright, so here is our blueprint for our rifle. Now, let's see, what do we need for this? Okay. So, my Mastercraft long neck rifle blueprint that I found is at 221.2%. Now, that's what it's going to come out at if you have 100% crafting speed. If you have higher crafting speed, there's a chance, it's not a set number. And if I were to make 5 different ones of these, it could be different percentages on all of them. But it's going to be over 221. We know that. All right, so we're going to craft one. And let's see what it comes out at. The good thing about these higher quality rifles and even crossbows or whatever, not only do they deal more damage, okay? 248, so I got 27 little over 27% more on that rifle from a 221 blueprint. So is that worth sinking all your points into crafting speed? No. I mean, that's not, I just did that to show y'all. That's one thing you can do with that. Now, here's another thing you can do. We'll just take that stack of 20 meat. And we are, let's see, I need to have let's see. Hold on, I gotta make a note real quick on the game. Gotta learn the note and make one. Okay, you don't have to learn the Ingram, you already have it. That's how often I do this. I should do this more, though, because this really is pretty useful. I'll make a couple. We don't need to do that. Alright. So we made a couple notes. Alright, so we are going to create a recipe. And the way you do that is you throw your recipe or your note in there and you got your meat. Now we're going to make this for 20 raw meat. So in other words, we need to take everything else out of here that we're not going to use, though, or else it's going to require that you have all that. All right, guys, so we have our ingredients and our note. We're going to hold the button down. Now, here's the deal. I just remembered, if you're creating a recipe, I think you have to use the cooking pot. So let me get this crap out. And a note. Okay. So you see on the screen here, it says make recipe. So we're going to click on that, or you can hold down on the outside and do that. All right, so we're going to make our recipe, and what we're going to do, we're going to use our 20 raw meat. Now, the more stuff you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So you can name it, I'm just going to name it burger. You can get creative with it and make it whatever you want. How about I name it in the name box? What the hell? Burger. Alright, and then we'll make it look like a burger, I guess. Okay. It's got color regions, just like when you're doing dinos and stuff. I think that's the meat. I think that's tomatoes. I don't know. Lettuce. And 5, I guess, is cheese. Or that's what we'll make it. Alright, so you don't even have to do all that. It just makes it look a little better. Okay, so you could... let's see. You would think I thought there was a way to see how much you get out of it. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and make the recipe, though. Okay, so we made the recipe, and we've got our burger recipe now. Alright, so we got our stacks of 20 meat, because that's what the recipe calls for. So you got to put your burger recipe in, and then you put your stacks of 20 meat. And then it just makes them. Alright, so we got 3 burgers now. And I'll shut that off. And let's see. What do we get for one burger? What does it do? It gives 242 food. So you could really do it with 10 and probably get 100. Oh, but you know what? I've got... I used all my crafting... That's why I don't have any points. Like, geez. Yeah. That's why I did that, because you can do if you take a mind wipe and do all your recipes that you're going to make, after you put all your points in crafting, then you can just do another mind wipe and, get your stats back the way you really want them. Now, I do recommend you better make sure you have all your all the stuff you're going to need to make 2 of them. Go ahead and make 2, stick one in a fridge or something, use one, and then you'll have the other one, because you don't want to screw up and not have enough stuff to make that second one and be stuck with 1,000 whatever crafting and no other stats, and then you have to go out like that and get other things. But yeah, this let's see. Yeah, and stamina, it gives you 17 stamina. So, yeah, that's in 178 health. So, if you've got 400 health, it's going to give you quite a bit of health back. It's going to give you almost half health, which is a big deal, if you're, especially if you're in a PvP situation and you're fighting and whatnot. So, that's that. That's the recipes as far as creating them. So that's pretty handy. So I'm gonna hang on to that, and I'm gonna make me some burgers, and I'll be able to. And that's the thing. Once you craft that recipe, it's just like a blueprint. You just leave it in the cooker or stick it somewhere in the house in a box. You know where it's at. You can always come back to it and use it as much as you want. All right. So let's get our stuff for the veggie cakes. Let's see here. The veggie cake recipe. Where are the veggie cakes? It's gonna be fiber, corn, carrot, and okay. So it's all the vegetables except for citronals or oranges, and then it's gonna be stimulant, sap. No. Oh yeah, stimulant, sap, and honey. Oh crap! I forgot about the stimulant or the sap and the honey. Man, they just added honey too. You used to didn't have to have honey for those. All right. Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna have to spawn some of this shit in. Add a bunch of these. Now I'll read you off the recipe. The actual recipe is 25 fiber, 2 corn, 2 carrot, 2 potato, 4 stimulant, 4 sap, and 2 honey. But you don't have to put exact amounts. It'll just make as many. You just put a bunch of all of it in there, and it'll make as many as it can out of that. Now I'm gonna grab some fiber, because I know we've got an ass load of fiber, and it takes a bunch. Can't wait to respec my character. I can't carry a damn thing. Go ahead and throw that one in. Okay, I think that's everything. And then, of course, when you're using the industrial cooker, if you were using the cooking pot, you would have to add water jars or canteens or water skins with water in them. Obviously, there's no water in a cooking pot by default. But since your cooker is attached to a water pipe, then you don't have to worry about adding water. And also, just like the industrial forge, this thing has a lot more spaces. It has 48 spaces, and it cooks a hell of a lot faster. So we're going to turn this on and see how many cakes we get. Makes a cake like every 1 or 2 seconds versus 30 seconds in a cooking pot. So it is a big pain in the butt trying to make this with a regular cooking pot. All right. We got 10 veggie cakes. All right. I'm going to go stick these in the fridge. Ooh, man. I'm going to dump this stuff. I spawned it in anyway, so I'm not really even worried about it. I really hope that fridge over here is got enough. These veggie cakes are actually heavy. They're, what are they, 6 pounds a piece? Yeah, so that's 60 pounds of cake I'm carrying. I will get rid of some of those, and then that way we can throw these in here. And the fridge, I don't know if I showed you guys when I made the fridge. Okay, this is just went under 4 hours. It's 3 hours and 59 minutes till it spoils, but in the fridge, 16 days, no, 16 weeks, 14 days, 28 hours. No, that's seconds, right? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. It is 16 days, 14 hours, 28 minutes, and 56 seconds. So, yeah, fridge is badass. All right, well, that's pretty much, I think that's all I was wanting to do. I'm going to go ahead and make me another mind wipe tonic so I can get my guys' stats back to where they need to be. I need some water before I pass out. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, I will see y'all in the next one. Later.